Now, like I'm telling you, I'm not here to condemn you for what you don't understand. I'm here to try and explain it to you, whether you understand it or not. Now, what do they say about being on your best behavior, though, and not calling evil good and good evil? Right. You can still try to do good, whether you understand everything I'm saying or not. I keep telling you that. But then you gotta be perfectly good. The best you can be, not the worst you can be, and attack everybody who believes something differently than you. You can't do that either. No. Especially if they have backing you're not willing to even acknowledge, right? But denying it's in there just does that Constantine thing again, right? Who's the first to deny the evidence that the Gnostics and the Orthodox showed you, right? See, he's the one who determined to do the counts because of the arguments between the Gnostic and the Orthodox anyway. Now, the problem is, it's Gnostic Hebrew and Orthodox Hebrew you're dealing with it. See, they don't think it's necessary to use Yahuwah instead of Yahoo, right? That's what they mean. The male is greater than the female, right? In their understanding of tops and bottoms, right? Or heads, right? But the problem is, there's a head above you, right? And that's the true form of Jesus Christ, where the male and female are one in him. The Jew and the Greek and the bond and the free, because he's the firstborn of every creature, meaning Satan is second compared to him. Now, he's the god of war. He's the one confusing you. He's Mars. He's Ares. He's the one starting the fight. With Jesus starting in heaven to earth, like I told you, right? And he keeps trying to murder Jesus, and Jesus keeps raising him from the dead, right? That's the point. John told you in Revelations he was slain before the foundation of the world, which is Satan's world, which he offered Jesus when he was here 2,000 years ago, too, right? Why? If he can get Jesus to sin, it's all over, but he can't, right? Now, the sin ain't what you think is a sin. Isaiah allows 7 women to take hold of one man, saying they will eat their own bread and wear their own apparel, and that's be called by thy name, or your name, to take away our reproach. And there's 2 reproaches for a woman. One is in childbearing, as pointed out by Rachel. I know. And the other is sin itself. See, you're acting like the female side of Jesus don't have to die for the female, and the male side of Jesus don't have to die for the male. Yes, it does. It dies for both. Another thing you forget is both sinned in Eve, not one greater than the other either. They both were tricked into it too in different ways, right? Now, guess who lied first, though, to Eve? Adam. Had he not acted like he knew it was the tree in the middle of the garden she wasn't to eat of, which is what she said to the serpent, which God didn't give a location for the tree of the knowledge of good and evil or the tree of life. Right? The one tree is perfectly in the middle of the garden, right? Listen to the story. One tree just went up and down. You don't understand that either. One tree was walking around in the garden with them. And that's the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But it ain't as simple as calling good evil or evil good. You can't do that either. That's the problem, right? You can't say that which is good is evil or that which is evil is good, right? You still can't do that with the Bible. Now, it's not your works alone that saves you, though, but the truth makes you free. But it's by grace and truth you learn the truth, not by your knowledge of man or your knowledge of anything. Right? Now, we still got time. Like I told you, we might have 4,000 years. You don't know. Maybe 6,000. You don't know. You don't know. What's 10 days to the Lord? 10,000 years, by the way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How many days of tribulation did God say we would have? 10. Why? Because an Egyptian, a day is 10 days, right? A week is 10 days, by the way. And now Moses shortened it to 7 days for 4 weeks a year. I mean, a month. But the problem with that is the solar calendar is longer than the lunar calendar, right? And you kind of got to mix them up and add days here and there a little bit to even out a year, right? Because the moon is the reflected glory of the sun to the earth, right? Which the sun is to represent Jesus, the moon, Satan, right? You've heard that before, haven't you? I know. But again, as Jacob is the son and Leah, no, not Rachel, she had died with Benjamin, right? When Joseph was given his coat a million colors and all that, right? And had his couple of dreams, which pissed his brothers off, right? And had they been good men, right? That wouldn't have happened either. But had they not done it, right? In a way, they wouldn't have saved their nation either. So even in evil, God could make it good, and good, God could make to evil. Mm-hmm. Why? Right. Because it was wrong what they did to their brother, right? But God used it to include and further, its message to mankind, right? Now, you know the truth of that, though. Mm-hmm. You don't put your slave in prison because the wife didn't know him, right? She just couldn't prove he raped her, right? Now, but Joseph didn't do it. You know what he means, right? Now, he can't say she raped him either. He's the male. He's the male. He's stronger than her, right? But again, right, she can seduce him and hold him down while she's doing it with him. You know what I mean? I know. Because, see, the problem with the slave is he can't raise his hands to his mistress. Like I'm telling you. He can't hit her. He can't hurt her. He's the slave. She's the free woman, right? So she could really have been doing that for months until finally she got caught with him, right? You know the real story, right? This goes on not one day, but one day they finally got caught, right? Right. And don't think Moses is telling you everything. You can't handle the truth of it. Neither Potiphar nor his wife, right? But who would be more offended even if he's sleeping with the slave girls? Right? Potiphar. Right. See, I don't try to sleep with someone else's wife if I know you're married to her, Mr. Trump. But the woman has to sneak to me, right? Unbeknownst to you or me still, right? Right. That's what I mean. That's what you mean. I don't know nobody around Trump at all. Right? I'm in Georgia. I don't know nobody. I don't know nobody. And an impersonator, like I said, can do voices. They ain't got to know you personally to impersonate you, by the way. Right? It's just how we do things. Right here. You hear that, boy? No. I'm bringing Mr. Foghorn Leghorn there. Her Reverend Lovejoy. Right. But if you're an impersonator, I'm not the only one, fool. I know a lot of people can do what I can do, right? But the thing is, all right, level wise, I can do heart. Can you do heart? No. No. I could probably do Shania Twain. Let's go, girls. But again, it's just what I do. This is what I do. And why? Because Mel Blanc did all the voices for the Bugs Bunny cartoons, even the women. Even the women. And I heard, what's his name? Ray could do it too, right? Some people are so voice oriented they can hear and impersonate just about anyone. Now, I've never heard Eddie Murphy do a female, but there was another comedian who did. He tried to do Patti LaBelle. I forgot his name, but anyway. And he sounded close to her. Now, he was a tad off, probably because he's nervous. It's Patty freaking LaBelle. Come on. But I can do Patty. Kitty, kitty, dear. Your little mama. I can also do the woman from the Jeffersons. Beans up at the kitchen. Right. You hear it, right? And that's because of my own androgyny. We're all androgynous in nature, meaning you're half your mom, half your dad, DNA wise, dude. You're not just you. You're not just you. Just because you're a male or a female or even a hermaphrodite, right? Which truly exists too. But because it was introduced sexually, right? We're dominantly male and female. Yeah. But guess who were hermaphrodites? The angels who fell. The angels who fell. Mm-hmm. They all have to assume Jesus' form to come here, right? First. And they did it without going through the womb like Jesus did. That's why he got the 8 women he married. By the way, it's 8, not 7 either. 7 he had before the cross. The 8th might have been after. But it said he shall see his seed. You're trying to cut him off from the land of the living, right? And that means he can have 7 daughters and what? 1 son. 1 son. After the resurrection, right? How long was he there? 40 days. 40 days, right? That's enough to get Mary Magdalene pregnant. You just don't want to deal with it. They didn't write it all out. Listen to John. He said so. These are written that you might believe. Everything Jesus did is not written down. Hear that, or you're fucking with the wrong God. And I mean it literally. You're fucking with the wrong God. Because you're fucking with Satan too. You know what I mean using that word. Fornication, unlawful carnal knowledge, the acronym of it. Right. See, it's not just F-U-C-K, it means something. First word, fornication. Second word, unlawful. Third word, carnal. Last word, what? Knowledge. Knowledge. F-U-C-K. F-U-C-K. Contracted. To an acronym. Like Phoebe. It's FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations, right? Uh-oh.